68, and we've got one of the best transfers in the country. We've got former Georgia point guard Sahvir Wheeler with us, and he's a guy who not only led Georgia in scoring, but also led the SEC in assists and assist-to-turnover ratio. So a guy that has got a big-time list with him now. But first, Sahvir, welcome, and take us through your game. For those of people watching that haven't seen you, describe your game.
First of all, man, I just really appreciate you. Appreciate you guys for giving me this opportunity, giving me this platform to ultimately make my decision and my announcement to where I'm committing. But for everyone who hasn't seen me play, I would like to describe myself as a guy who can get 10 assists on every given night and be okay with 4 points. You know, I just want to do it. I'm a guy, you know, who wants to get others involved. I feel like I have a servant leadership, a servant mind. I want to get guys off. I want to get guys playing with that joy and that passion. And also, on the flip side, I can be the aggressor. I can be that guy who can go out and make things happen, be a triple-double threat. I can score 20 points if the game needs for that to be in order to win. So I'm a guy who can kind of do a little bit of everything. And that's how I really would describe it.
Yeah, you've lived in Houston about half of your life, but what people don't realize is you got some Harlem too. You got some New York, point guard play and a little bit of that toughness. But all right, let's go through your finalists. Final four, and everybody was on you coming out of the transfer portal. Final four: Kansas, Kentucky, LSU, Oklahoma State, in alphabetical order there. What was the process like for you, maybe compared to high school, coming out of high school as it was this time?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things was out of high school, I didn't really go through the process as much. I committed to Texas under Coach Kennedy. Beginning of my sophomore year, right after my freshman summer. I was committed to him throughout high school until obviously he left. So I opened up my recruitment. I was at the time, me and Cole Anthony were the only uncommitted point guards in my class. And everyone kind of knew Cole was going to North Carolina. So, everyone else had their point guard. So options were not necessarily limited, but I had to make a decision very fast within a few weeks span, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, what it was. It's kind of like what it is now. Ultimately, I came down early to my final two of Iowa State and Georgia, and I chose Georgia. But the difference is this time I get the full experience. I get the text messages every day, phone calls with the coaches. I get the Zoom meetings. But it's been a blessing. You can't ask for nothing more but to be, wanted and feel like you can be a part of something bigger by the best college programs in the country with and getting the support from each of the fan bases, telling them like how they would love to have you on the is a great feeling to know that your work is paying off. And, you have still much more to achieve and much more to prove. So I've been taking it in one day at a time, but I definitely enjoyed the process, and I'm enjoying this right now.
All right, so we won't draw this out anymore. People came here to find out who you chose, and now's the time. All right, bring it with who did you decide on, Sahvir?
Yeah, before I get into that, the moment we all be waiting for, I just want to get a special shout out. Just my parents, my siblings sticking with me throughout this whole thing. All they sacrificed, all the film sessions we had as a family. Taking the time out to really dissect each and every of those 4 programs that I cut it down to. I want to Coach Rossi for helping me, and the whole BU organization, to the Georgia. Those guys gave me from my first 2 years of college. Guys gave me an opportunity to compete, to play with freedom, to play through mistakes, and help me grow as a player and as a young man. But ultimately, after long and deep analyzation of every program, I'm going to go ahead and commit to the University of Kentucky and play under Coach Cal.
All right, so Kentucky over Kansas, over Oklahoma State, over LSU. What was the biggest difference of your? Why did you choose Lexington, Coach Cal, Kentucky?
I think the biggest difference for me is being able to play in that opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament. Not only play for the NCAA tournament, but have a roster that is set up to win a national championship. You got guys who are experienced. We got guys on that roster with length, with athleticism, and most of all, I'm looking forward to playing space to floor and shoot it with CJ, with Kellen, Dante Allen, and with Ty Washington coming in. So, I mean, that's a point guard's dream to be able to play with guys of that talent, guys who are athletic, who play a fast game and play under a prestigious and amazing coaching staff where Coach Cal has with those guys over there.
So, Sahvir, that's the biggest question a lot of people would have, right? They just got Ty Washington, a top 10-ish freshman coming in, point guard. What did Cal say to you about maybe how you guys could play together or what your role will be?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that people kind of forget is that Coach Cal almost kind of guard offense. He had the John Wall and Eric Bledsoe. He had the Derrick Rose and Chris Douglas Roberts. He had Jamal Murray, who plays point guard in the NBA with Tyler Ulis. He had Fox and Malik Monk. He had Isaiah Briscoe with Tyler Ulis and Jamal Murray as well. He had Shea and Quade. These are guys who are all point guards and who all had success there. Even last year or 2 years ago's team with Maxey, Quickly, and Higgins. So Coach Cal is he's always been straight up with me as far as like who he's recruiting, how would I fit. Ultimately, he wants to get back to winning, and win is a big thing for me as well. And I know we're gonna play fast. We're gonna have excited. We have experience, we have toughness, we have size, we have athleticism, and it's going to be super fun this year to be able to play under Coach Cal and get to the campus and meet all those guys and build quickly.
How much are you salivating at playing with two wings in CJ Frederick, who shot 47 from three, and Kellen Grady, who a proven scorer and three-point shooter over the course of his career at Davidson?
I mean, that's to be able to play with guys, especially a guy who was almost 50% from three and with a scorer like Kellen Grady. And that's a point guard's dream. And I can't wait to get those guys open looks and they down the court. Yes, sir. That's another one. Make them pay. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for those moments. And with that, that's going to give me even more space to operate. And that's also going to give me more open looks. And be able to make some shots myself. Trading, now I'm kicking, and those who's off the line, and they make a penetrating drive, and I'm wide open, sitting there like a catch and shoot spot up three on the gun, which is gonna boost up, and that plays both for both parties there. So I'm super excited, and like I said, that's a point guard's dream to be able to play with guys that are talented and those guys who can really shoot the ball.
How motivated do you think Calipari is right now after last season?
Super motivated. He expressed from the first Zoom call, from the first text message, how hungry he is to win. And, this is the time to do it. The University of Kentucky, it's excellence. It's greatness. That is the standard there. The standard isn't, let's hope to make the NCAA tournament. The standard is Elite Eight, Final Four, national championship. And I'm okay with that. I've always played under the bright lights, and I've always performed under the bright lights all my life. And that's a challenge that I welcome. That's a challenge that I'm willing to accept. And that's a challenge I'm willing to get to campus and work on right away. And I feel like the group there, that roster there, is also looking for all those same things. So I think he's super motivated, and I know I am as well.
What about from a leadership perspective, Sahvir? Because obviously, Kentucky's not used to having a bunch of guys with experience like they do now. Whether it is Kellen Grady, who's going to go into his fifth year, you're going to be a junior, even, Oscar Shibwe, CJ Frederick, a lot of guys. This is not your traditional Kentucky team, but what can you bring to the table, and what will your leadership style be like? Yeah.
My leadership style has always been to galvanize, to bring people together for a common goal. I believe love, that's the biggest thing, just to love on everyone and to spread positive vibes. Me personally, I've always played my best when I've had a sense of joy and with a smile on my face. And I know if I can get my other teammates to play loose, because practice is going to be intense. I mean, we all know that. Competing every day against the best and eventually playing against the best players in your schedule from top to bottom, from first game to the last game of the year, you're going to play against the best. But you can't play against the best when you're tight. You're worried about this. You got to be loose. You got to be relaxed. You got to have fun. And I think I can bring that to the table. And obviously, I know what it takes to win. I know some of the success, why I didn't have success as a team in my previous school, and I know what I can do to change. And also having, incoming transfers that have had success. Fredericks at Iowa, they were a top 5 team almost every year. And Kellen Grady and how he was able to score and be effective at Davidson in the A-10. So those guys, and Oscar coming from a prestigious program like West Virginia. And even dudes like Tata, he's won at the high school level. I think he had a 38-2 record this year in high school. I mean, these dudes are winners. I come from having 2 state championships, so I know what it takes to win. I know what it looks like, and I think we're gonna have less team. Dudes are gonna want to win, and all the personal accolades and all the things you want is a byproduct of winning as a team. So,
well, that's some of the reason you didn't have team success as a freshman. I saw you your 4th game of the year, and I remember talking to Crean after the game. You guys played Georgia Tech. Mm-hmm. And the ball was always in the Ant-Man's hands. And I said to Green, I'm like, why aren't you giving the ball to this kid? And I didn't know much about you at that time, but I'm like, he can play and he can make life easier for Anthony playing off the ball. This past year, you got a chance to do that. The ball was in your hands a lot. How much more comfortable are you just running the team and just being able to make decisions and make the right decision?
Yeah, it's like you said, I've always had the ball in my hands for most of my career. I've had a similar my 16U summer as it was to my freshman year last year, playing with a dude named Quinn Grimes. He was hot as fish grease his junior year. He was a top 10 player. He also had the ball a lot on my AAU team. So obviously Ant was the #1 pick. That's a different level. But I had some feel into how to do it, and we got better with it. As I got into the starter lineup, as me and Anthony continued to build that relationship. At the end of the year, I mean, we were a heck of a combo to guard, heck of a duo to guard. So, man, that all prepared me for right now. That prepared me for this opportunity to play University of Kentucky and have some of the similar players, similar guys who are talented, who can score, who can shoot, who has a rim presence on the defensive end as well, with a team with length and athleticism. So all that is just built me for this moment and built me for this opportunity to go in there and lead the guys and hopefully make a Final Four national championship run.
All right, before we go, I'm going to give you the floor here. One final message to Big Blue Nation, because we got plenty of Kentucky diehards on here watching. What do you got?
Big Blue Nation, I mean, what's up? It's your boy Sahvir here. Just know that I'm coming to win. I'm coming to compete. I'm coming to earn you guys' respect. I'm coming to prove everybody wrong. As far as that we're not going to be good next year. We're reloaded, and we're coming for that national championship. And I'm super excited to get on campus and get to know everyone around campus. And I appreciate all you guys' support, not only now, before, but in the future as well. And I'm super excited because I've been hearing rumors that it might go back to full capacity this upcoming basketball season. And I'm super excited to know you guys there and having that sea of blue all around campus. So I'm ready to get to work.
Well, listen, congrats, Sahvir, headed to University of Kentucky, headed to Lexington. I'm going to get going now because I got to update the preseason top 25. I got to move you up a couple spots. You weren't in the top 10. Now I'm getting you in the top 10 preseason. So get in the gym, and congrats again, man.
Man, I appreciate you. Appreciate you having me.
You got it. Anytime.